Good morning, everybody. Lovely. Why do we want everybody to like us? Have you ever thought about this? Why we're constantly thinking about this wherever we go? What they think of us? Do they like us? In fact, social media has created a like option based on this psychology of humans. So much so, we can do anything on social media to be liked. The social media here represents the society, and the like option represents a need for validation and acceptance in this society. So, this need for validation and acceptance, why do we need it? Why do we have this need in us? Why do we want it from the society or a group or our followers? Well, let me help you understand that from its origin. So, in the beginning of human race, before we became so evolved, we were actually prey to animals. We really didn't have much power till we developed tools, fire, cognition, technology, etc. So according to studies, one thing we've observed is one thing that kept us alive and helped us survive is being a part of a group. Because if you think about it, if one of them were kicked out of the group, it would not be possible for one person to fight off a lion or a tiger by himself, would it? In fact, it would put that person in an insecure position, all alone in the wild. Now, the primitive brain remembers this feeling of insecurity when you're kicked out of a group, this feeling of rejection. In fact, this is also our source of where our fear of rejection comes from. Now, as we evolved as humans, our needs also evolved. We grew with time, our needs grew with time, but there's one significant shift which happened with the development of cognition, that is a concept of self or identity. We as humans started identifying ourselves as some supreme being above all the others. Now what happens is, this self-concept of us also now had needed for security. So the first reason for the need of acceptance is survival. In the external being, as we saw, security is the reason for it. Security of the external self. And the second reason is the security of the internal self, as the identity, as we call it. Now, as I spoke about needs and evolution of needs, here's Maslow's hierarchy of needs explaining our evolution of needs, actually. The lower ones, as you see, are the basic needs that we had during the Stone Age time. That is air, water, food, shelter. These are physiological basic needs of ours. Then we went to safety needs, personal security, employment, resources, health, etc. Then came love and belonging. Then came esteem. Then came self-actualization. Do you see the development of needs as yourself developed with time, as you go to the top? Now we're going to look at the third block of love and belonging. Here is where the need of acceptance and validation actually stems from. The sense of connection and the sense of belonging is something that we're all looking for. It comes from this third block, this need. Now, back then, if you look at how we were, our groups were formed based on regions or similar physical characteristics during the Stone Age. So the sense of belonging and connection was quite there. Now, as our sense of self developed, our diversity also developed because number of self or identity increased. There was diversity in our identity and number of selves that we saw. And because of that, the longing for connection also increased. The longing for belonging also increased because there was less groups which are similar. So the connection that we are looking for, the sense of belonging that we are looking for is something that we all want and need as a human. Now, connections. Now, when we talk about connections, what does it really mean? I mean, a connection could be based on various themes, various intensity. But if I had to speak generally, I can connect over similar opinions, connect over similar thinking, similar behavior patterns, similar interests, similar kind of behaviors, etc. So if you see, what's really happening here is that a part of you is being seen, heard, validated, or accepted by another. Let me give you an example. So for example, if I am somebody who loves pineapple on pizza, I know a lot of people do find this very weird and scorn upon it, but I'm somebody who likes it. And if I find someone else who likes the same, and they're like, oh my God, I love it too. I love pineapple on pizza. Now, in that moment, what I'm feeling is that there's someone else who is similar to me, of the same kind, who loves pineapple on pizza. In that moment, I feel a connection. This part of me, which loves pineapple on pizza, feels seen by this other person. I also feel like there's nothing wrong with me. I also feel like I'm not the only one who loves pineapple on pizza, that there's another of my kind. In that moment, that little moment, is a sense of belongingness and connection we are feeling. Therefore, I truly believe connections are very, very important to truly feel secure about yourself. That is the internal self that we're talking about, your identity. But my question here is, how are we seeking connections these days? How are we going after these connections for ourselves? We are on social media quite often being someone else, doing something beyond our authentic self, just to feel validated and accepted. So when we try to do this, are we really seeking that true connection? I mean, think about it. We often do things which is beyond our authentic self, and if that part of you is not authentic, is your true self feeling seen there in that moment? We're actually seeking connection blindly without self-awareness. We're actually seeking connection from a fear of rejection and the lonely feeling that comes with it. And as we do so, what we do is we develop more and more insecurity within. Let me give you an example. So for example, I go to a social gathering and everybody there is drinking and everybody there is like, oh, Vidhya, would you like a drink? And I say, no, it's not for me. I don't think I enjoy it anymore. I don't want it. And they respond, what? How can you not enjoy a drink? One drink. I mean, everybody drinks. Everybody is now, someone's mocking me, someone's judging me. Now in that group, I feel a little alone. I feel a little insecure. So now what do I do? What do you think I'll do? Exactly. I'll drink. So what did I do now? I did not listen to my true self. Just for that moment of security there, to feel a sense of belonging, which is illusionary, by the way, I said, I'll drink. But think about it. Your true self didn't want to drink. So does this part truly feel seen, heard, accepted here? So this moment, are you truly feeling a connection? Are you truly feeling a sense of belonging? Or is it an illusion? Now, there's one more thing that happens here. Whenever we act against ourselves in such situations, we're also telling our true self that you're not acceptable. You're not good enough. Nobody likes you. We are reinforcing that within us. This only makes us feel more insecure and fear rejection more. In fact, it leads to a very poor connection with self, a connection which is very, very important. We lose connect with ourselves over time. This poor connection with self now also leads to us depending on the external to meet our needs for validation and acceptance. Because the internal self is like, myself's not going to listen to me. Myself will only listen to others. So I'm going to go outside for that validation and acceptance. I'm going to go to everybody who will give it to me outside because myself is not going to give me that acceptance and validation. What I'm here to tell you is that your connection with yourself is equally important. We are no longer in the Stone Age. We don't need to completely depend on the external for security. We're not codependent, we are interdependent as humans now. We have evolved past that. What I mean by interdependent is that we can depend on ourselves as well at times to feel secure. And how do we do that now? I know a lot of y'all will be wondering, how do we do that? Because this is something that we don't learn. We've been taught codependence from a very young age, but interdependence is not something that has been taught to us. We are very unaware of this. So yes, it starts with looking within. It starts with really looking at yourself and observing, are you truly, truly seeing yourself? Are you truly, truly listening to yourself? Are you truly, truly working from your own truth? Ask yourself, do you feel more and more disconnected even though you do everything right according to what the society expects from you? Do you feel more and more lonely? Of course you will, because your authentic true self is not out there yet. It's trapped within you. So there are various ways that you can explore yourself and develop awareness. Therapy definitely is one of them. It's one of the most beautiful ways you can. But I'll tell you what, I'll tell you that's one way. I will tell you explore all ways. Go out there and explore whatever amuses you, interests you. Go with curiosity and see what part of you comes out there. Explore yourself. Observe yourself. Reflect on it. And then realize your truth. This is a slow and steady process. This is very easily said than done. Let me tell you, as a therapist, I know this very well. Because a lot of our conditioning blocks us from truly seeing ourselves. We're constantly looking outside. It's difficult, I understand. But I'm here to tell you, it's absolutely worth it. It's absolutely worth it for you to look within and form that connection with yourself. Because once you start seeing yourself clearly, and once you start speaking your own truth, and start feeling secure in yourself, you know that kind, your tribe that you're looking for outside, they will also start seeing you. Because when you're in hiding, how can your kind or your tribe find you? They can't even see you. Once you start connecting with yourself and speaking from your own truth, you will be able to finally shine in your truth. And then your kind and tribe, wherever you go, will come to you, will see you. And you will also be able to form those true connections that you've been longing for. And that sense of feeling of acceptance and belongingness and validation that you want, you'll truly get it. There's nothing wrong in wanting it. But you need to think, are you blindly seeking it? Or are you seeking it from a space of awareness, from a space of love for yourself, from a space of real understanding of yourself? So I'm here to tell you that if you put yourself out there, I know it's scary. I know it takes a lot of courage. I know it will take a lot of work. But if you finally see your truth and stand up for your truth, speak up for your truth, your tribe will find you and you will find your tribe too. Your true self is waiting for you. Look within. Thank you.